sure enough could suspect it. Like, so you got to move with the energy that lets somebody know, like, man, I'm comfortable. That's the main thing. Just being comfortable with who you are, what you bring to the table, and not feeling like you being a little boy in no time. Like, you a man, you stand on yours. You wouldn't got her. She feel like you deserve it. Now you need to make sure you feel like you deserve it and move with that energy.
I agree with you say, Marcus, but sometimes they just don't want to feel like everybody wants to know they got a catch, right? Men and women alike. And I think that's to add on what you're saying, is I agree with everything that you're saying, but add that part on too. To what you were saying.
You said that everybody got a catch. You saying?
I said everybody wants to feel like they got a catch.
Like, yeah. Facts. So, but you can make somebody feel like that. You can make somebody feel like that without actually being the prototypical catch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Is your deciding factor as to whether you got a catch or not based on how you feel or how others perceive your situation? Because for me, okay, because
some people. So in general,
because I just heard was watching a thing on IG today that they were trying to prove a point and was saying that women want a man that other women want, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about that. And I'm like, well, it could be if there's a particular prototype that most women like. Like if we're talking about maybe the 6 feet, attractive, nice build. Well, it's not necessarily that you're choosing that person because other women want that person. It's just that a lot of women like that prototype, right? But
not so. I think that no. So there are some women who you don't want a person. So I know this for true, very true for me, and especially because I know one guy in particular. I've already told y'all this story before. He was in love with this girl, but he was like, I can't be with her because she just did not fit the image in which he felt. He wasn't feeling her physically, but he was in love with her. You know what I'm saying? And so it was almost like I can't be seen. It was like really weird. Like he couldn't be seen with her. Like this wasn't. So it's people who move like that.
And that's what I was gonna say. So I personally don't buy, like, okay, I'm gonna speak for me personally. I know other people are probably like this too, is that I don't not choose who I like based on what others are going to think about them. If I'm feeling that person and we got a vibe and we are able, I'm attracted to them for whatever reason my attraction is, right? Mm-hmm. I'm attracted to them. I'm going to choose them. Mm-hmm. I don't care what Shan might think about him or what HD think about him on terms of the superficiality aspect of that person. Because if I'm looking at character and how he treats me, that's what I'm going to be attracted to. So he may not necessarily be a 10, so to speak. He could be that 5. He could be that 6. But for me, yeah, I see the physical aspect. I'm like, nah, I being realistic, I know he's not a 10, but he makes me feel like a 10.
Right. So all we're saying, so we know that there are people like you, but we're just saying that there are people who don't think that way. There are people who
so do you think most people think like me, or most people think the other way?
We're not saying most in anyone. We're just saying a great many of people, especially nowadays, in the market today, do think that way.
Okay. So all right. So I found out that. So, on the other show the other day on Tuesday, we was looking at a girl from the Balloon Pop show, and they was like, oh, she fat because you can't see her collarbone. Shout out to Shannon. I'm like, man, I don't give no fuck about no damn collarbone. I like hips, ass, and titties. Like, I like shapely women. And you got to stand on what you like. Don't let nobody discourage you out of that. Because if everybody would have said she was fat, now I was just like, I like fat women. If that's I love fat women. If that's fat, then I like fat. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't shame him out of it. He couldn't shame me out of it.
And we both know that you should be like that, but we also know that there are people who allow their homies talk them out of somebody. They'll come like, "What you think about her?" And the homies be like, and then next thing you know, she getting ghosted. You know what I'm saying? Or he getting ghosted. So it is not right, obviously, because then you could have just ghosted your wife. You could have just ghosted your husband. But unfortunately, people do that.
My man Goldie was talking about this the other day. He said, um, the main thing that you should be attracted to is how she treats you. And I always, she could be a 5 to everybody else, but she treats you like a 10. You better move like Shallow Hal. That's a 10 to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if like turn her into a 10 in your mind at the end of the day, because you don't want to be chasing after somebody that don't want you. I think half the face is created from chasing after people that don't want them.
But
Even
we
parents,
can't.
think about it this way. Even parents do it to their kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think so many people are single, because I think they're moving based on, like Shan, what you're talking about. They're picking partners based on the way that they look to other people, right? The way that they look to other people. Oh, we gotta look like a power couple, or we, match each other. You know what I'm saying? If I know I'm an 8, I need to be with at least an 8 or a 10. You know what I'm saying? So they're choosing based on the way other people will perceive them as a couple together, as opposed to like what Marcus and I was saying, choosing on the fact of this person makes me feel like a 10. Like I could, I'm not putting all my apples on the fact of how they look in terms to other people. It's more about how they look and make me feel as a person. Do they treat me right? Do they got good character? Do they have all of these things? And if they do, I'm going to see them as that 10 in my mind because they make me feel a certain way. And I think if more people move that way, I think you would see more people that are in relationships, that are in marriages.
I don't think that's going to make a difference, but not with that. But I think but it will get people together. But I wanted to make a point too. And sometimes it don't just go by peers. It's also family members that do that. You take a girl home to your mama, you in love with her, and your mama like, no. It could be merely just the way she look. No.
Hold on, I do gotta say this. It's gonna be real quick. Hey, how's it going? A wife school podcast. How you doing?
Hey everybody, how you guys doing?
Good, good. I wanted to make my point. I just wanted to say hello, acknowledge you real quick. This is real fast. Look, we don't need to go by what someone else thinks of the person that we're talking to, but we still got to be attracted to them. Do not settle for somebody just because they treat you good, but you have that reservation in your mind, like, yeah,
Okay,
you
wait a
don't
minute.
look
You
to.
jumping the gun.
Hold
Hold
on,
up. Pause.
hold
Get to the
on,
video
hold on.
first. AB, get
I
to the
know
video
you did
first.
not just say that.